Hello everyone! Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today. We've got a really great topic for you, and I think by the end of this episode, your English is going to feel totally different. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's get started.
Hey, welcome. It's so good to see you all again. You know, every time we record an episode, I always think, wow, our listeners are so dedicated. You keep coming back, you keep learning, and that makes us so happy. How are you all doing today?
I was actually thinking about our listeners this morning. I was making breakfast and I thought, I wonder how many people are going to listen to this while they're commuting to work or doing chores. And honestly, that's one of my favorite things about podcasts. You can learn English while you're living your life.
That's such a good point. And speaking of learning English while living your life, today's topic is absolutely perfect for that. Today we are talking about how to think in English. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to talk about how to stop translating in your head and start actually thinking directly in English.
This is one of the most common things English learners ask us about. So many people say, I know a lot of English, but when I speak, I translate from my own language first, and then I say it in English. And that's totally normal when you're learning. But today, we're going to help you get past that stage. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What does it actually mean to think in English? When we say think in English, we mean that when you want to say something, the words come to you in English first, not in your native language.
Right. And here's the thing. When you translate in your head, it slows everything down. Think about it like this. Imagine you're driving a car. If every time you need to turn you have to stop, read the instructions, translate them, and then act, you'd crash, right?
Oh, I love that driving example. And I totally remember when this happened for me. I was on a trip and someone asked me a question, and I just answered, in English, without even thinking about translating.
All right, now let's talk about the practical habits. Because knowing that you need to think in English is one thing, but how do you actually make it happen?
Oh, I'm excited for this. I know we're going to talk about some habits I use too.
The first habit is English self-talk. Self-talk means you talk to yourself, inside your head or quietly out loud.
The second habit is English input overload. Fill your environment with English. Watch shows in English with English subtitles, listen to podcasts, and read English content regularly.
The third habit is thinking in English about things you care about. If you love cooking, think about recipes in English. If you love football, think about the game in English. Now let's talk about something that happens a lot when you start thinking in English. You hit a vocabulary gap.
This is so real. Sometimes you're thinking in English and suddenly you don't know a word. That's okay.
Strategy number 1, describe it. If you don't know the exact word, explain it using other words.
Strategy number 2, use a placeholder word like thingy or whatchamacallit.
Mistake number 1, trying to think in perfect English.
Mistake number 2, translating word by word.
Mistake number 3, only practicing English when studying.
Mistake number 4, giving up when you hit a vocabulary gap.
Now it's time for our interactive practice.
Situation 1. You see a friend you haven't seen in a long time.
It's been a long time since I last saw you.
I haven't seen you in ages. The more natural answer is option B.
Situation 2. You want to leave a party early. Option A. I should go now. I have things I need to do tomorrow. Option B. I must depart now as I have obligations tomorrow. The more natural answer is option A.
Today was all about making English your default language. Not just a language you study, but a language you live in.
Let's recap the 3 main things we talked about today. What it means to think in English. Practical habits to build an English-thinking brain. How to handle vocabulary gaps.
Every sentence you think in English helps you improve. Trust the process.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today at Simple English Talks. Keep thinking in English, keep practicing, and we'll see you next time.
Before we finish, I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough attention: consistency. Everyone loves the idea of becoming fluent in English, but not everyone loves the daily practice that gets them there. The truth is that fluency isn't built in one amazing study session. It's built through hundreds of small moments. It's built when you choose to think in English while brushing your teeth, while waiting in line, or while walking to the bus stop. That's so true. We often imagine language learning as something dramatic, like one day we suddenly wake up fluent. But that's not really how it works. Most learners improve so gradually that they don't even notice it happening. Then one day they watch a movie and realize they're understanding more. Or they have a conversation and notice they didn't translate as much. Those little victories are signs that your brain is changing.
I remember talking to a learner who told me, "I don't feel like I'm improving." So I asked her a simple question. Can you understand more English today than you could 6 months ago? She thought about it for a moment and said, "Actually, yes." Then I asked, "Can you express more ideas than you could 6 months ago?" Again, she said yes. Sometimes we focus so much on what we still can't do that we forget to appreciate how far we've come.
That's a really important lesson. Progress isn't always obvious when you're living through it. Imagine planting a tree. If you stare at it every day, it doesn't seem to grow. But if you compare it to a picture from a year ago, the difference is incredible. Language learning works the same way. That's why it's useful to occasionally look back and recognize your growth.
Another thing I hear from learners is, "I don't have enough time." And honestly, I understand. People are busy. They have jobs, studies, families, responsibilities, and a million things competing for their attention. But here's the good news. Thinking in English doesn't require extra hours in your day. You can practice while doing things you're already doing.
Exactly. You don't need a special study room or expensive course to practice thinking in English. If you're making breakfast, think about the ingredients in English. If you're driving, describe the traffic in English. If you're shopping, make your shopping list in English. These are tiny changes, but they can make a huge difference over time.
Let's imagine a typical morning. You wake up and think, "Okay, what's my plan today?" Then you think, "I need to answer some emails, finish a project, and go grocery shopping." That's already English practice. Then, while making coffee, you think, "This smells great. I think I'll make another cup." Those simple thoughts are training your brain.
And the best part is that nobody has to know you're doing it. You can practice anywhere. On the bus, at home, during a walk, or even while exercising. You're turning ordinary moments into learning opportunities. That's one reason thinking in English is such a powerful strategy. It fits naturally into your life.
We actually received a message from one of our listeners recently. She said that she started thinking in English for just 5 minutes every morning. At first, it felt awkward and difficult. She constantly forgot words and switched back to her native language. But after a few weeks, something changed.
I love stories like this. What happened?
She said that one day she was talking to an English-speaking coworker and realized she was responding more quickly than before. She wasn't translating every sentence. She wasn't mentally checking every grammar rule. She was just communicating. It wasn't perfect, but it felt natural. And that's exactly what we're aiming for.
That's fantastic. And notice something important. Her improvement didn't come from a magic trick. It came from consistent practice. 5 minutes a day doesn't sound like much, but over weeks and months it adds up. Small habits are powerful because they're easy to maintain.
We also hear from learners who say they feel embarrassed talking to themselves in English. And honestly, I get it. It can feel strange at first. But remember, you're not performing for anyone. You're practicing. Athletes practice. Musicians practice. Language learners should practice too.
Absolutely. And if speaking out loud feels uncomfortable, start with silent thinking. Just create simple English thoughts in your mind. Then, as you become more confident, start saying some of those thoughts quietly out loud. You don't need to jump straight into full conversations.
As we head into a new week, I want to leave you with a challenge. Choose one everyday situation where you normally think in your native language. Maybe it's getting ready in the morning. Maybe it's preparing dinner. Maybe it's walking your dog. Whatever it is, dedicate that activity to English.
And don't make the challenge too big. You don't need to think in English all day long. In fact, that's probably unrealistic for many learners. Start small. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, one routine activity. The goal is consistency, not intensity.
At the end of the week, reflect on your experience. Ask yourself, was it easier than I expected? What words did I need most often? Where did I struggle? What improvements did I notice? Reflection helps you learn even more from the practice.
And remember that every learner's journey is different. Some people start thinking in English quickly. Others take more time. Neither approach is wrong. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Progress isn't a race, it's a process.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Simple English Talks. We genuinely love creating these conversations and sharing this learning journey with you. Every week, we're reminded that language learning connects people from all over the world.
We hope today's episode gave you practical tools, useful ideas, and a little extra motivation. Remember, thinking in English is not about perfection. It's about building a habit. The more often you do it, the easier it becomes.
Keep practicing. Keep being curious. Keep challenging yourself. And most importantly, keep believing that improvement is possible, because it absolutely is.
Thank you for listening. Have an amazing week, enjoy your English practice, and don't forget to share your progress with us. We love hearing from you.
Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye for now, and remember, one English thought at a time can change the way you speak forever.